Gotta do this for the culture, for the communities.
So right now, you listening to Everything Validated.
Boom, 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 boom.
You rocking with your hosts right now, in the pilot seats, in the driver's seats. We taking over your airwaves. You rocking with Mr. RawFix.
And Malik the engineer.
Ja.
Episode 4 of Everything Validated, the podcast. Brought to you by the Hip Hop Blockchain Network, where everything is valid. Welcome back to those who have listened to the previous episodes 1, 2, and 3. Maybe you've seen us through the YouTube.
Big shout outs.
Let us know how that's going. And also through the podcast platforms. Welcome back. And to the first time listeners, welcome. Don't be shy.
Glad to have you. So let's break down today. That's how the day gonna look. All right, so I'm gonna give you what I've come to realize is now our format. Kind of feels nice. Shout outs again to the engineer, Mr. Malik.
The format, I can't take credit, man. It's all coming together.
All right, so we gonna do the usual. We gonna give you some news for the day, a little bit of background on what's going on in the markets. Then we're gonna do a daily definition. From there, we're gonna move on to a little bit of what's come to be a coin segment. Don't worry, we gonna come up with some fly ass names later. Then we gonna give you a little bit of a weekly resource, super necessary resource.
Get your notepad, get your pen. It's not an entertainment only podcast.
So from there, let's put it in drive.
All right. And on that note, happy holidays once again. How was everything for you over the holidays?
Oh, to be honest, it was really interesting. He's laughing because I've been out of commission for a little bit. Me personally ended up with a bad flu bug.
Damn.
Left me down and out. I was out for a couple weeks. Everything turned out a lot better for the most. Bounced back, and Christmas was lit.
Bless.
New Year's and New Year's Eve was extra lit.
Okay. Yeah, you put me on some interesting card games. Your king card games so far, that's what I've noticed. I thought I knew a few.
Yo. We play cards different by the crib. That includes dominoes.
Definitely different. I'm going to just give y'all a hint. Disney. Different.
All I could say, honestly, full disclosure, funny story, how we ended up with these interesting Disney cards. My girl was looking for a gift for the kids, and she glanced over the box and seen this big deck of cards, and it was Cards Against Disney. So for those of you that are familiar with Cards Against Humanity, we thought it was some off-brand and kid-friendly, not glancing at the giant warnings that's on the other sides of the box, because the way the box was set, so you have to give us some credit. We end up purchasing it, and that was supposed to go to a little girl.
How little are we talking about?
I'm talking like 5, 6 years old, just getting to read.
Can she even play normal cards? Like Crazy Eights?
Yeah.
Go Fish?
Yeah. She plays chess.
So she's ready. You thought she was ready for Cards Against Humanity?
Well, we were thinking it was some Disney version, but catered for, cause the box looked like super PG, fam, from the front end, cause it's box full of laughs, that infomercial stuff,
Oh no.
And yeah.
So what happened? How'd you know not to give it to the young girl?
My nieces came over. We got a pretty big family. That's why like it feels like a house gathering. It's just too many people in the one basement one time. So we were at the crib and we were playing like card games, and someone took out all the card boxes and was like, "Yo, this one's lit. We should play this one." Then my girl's like, "Oh no, we were gonna give that to someone." But then like that's when we seen the other side of the box finally.
Oh,
and she's like,
wow.
"Oh wait, hold on, 17 plus. Oh.
One of them games. A real college shubs.
So we had to like tuck it into the private collection.
That's crazy.
So, ladies and gentlemen, moving forward, anything that's marked cards against, yeah, just off the cuff, just be ready for the most unnecessary of unnecessary responses.
Very dystopian pictures they're painting. But you got to end the phrase. So for those who haven't heard of that card game, I would say it's for like, maybe young adults, teens. It's kind of like,
Yes.
can get kind of, what would you say, like, dirty.
That's putting it nicely.
Yeah, So it's a game where you should actually explain it because you taught me.
How it is, you get like there's red cards. You pick in the Disney. I'm using Disney as an example because like there's other colors and whatnot, but the red cards, you pick one out of like the big deck because there's so many cards. We just spread them all out on the table.
Everyone has cards at that point.
Yes, everyone has cards. The white cards.
Mm-hmm.
So you have 10 white cards in your hand, which those are your
So those will end the sentence.
Yes.
Those are the options you can put into the sentence.
Into the blanks. So the red cards essentially are the ones with the phrase or the sentence or a saying.
Yeah, they got the empty spots. So now it's for the white cards to fill it in.
And it could leave you with some pretty interesting setups because like the way the red cards are articulated, it's very clean and like open-ended.
Yeah.
So like you could say something to make sense or you could say something to completely go way out of left.
Yeah, and then the person that is playing, because you take turns having the red card or drawing it, judges the responses submitted by the other players who have to put in their white cards, and then whoever I guess has the most entertaining combination submitted wins that turn, and then they get to draw the red card next. So pretty interesting game, definitely not for kids.
And low-key, there is a strategy to it. The trick is you have to play with people you know.
I mean, who's really trying to win like that? It's the whole point of the game. I feel is just to play the game. It's hilarious.
No, I feel that, but like low key, I'm super competitive. Full disclosure.
So, did you ever find out what's the difference between a coin versus a token?
That's actually very interesting that you bring that up. So I did some low key findings, and it actually interested me because I had no idea at first. Coins are something that's backed by an infrastructure. So for full clarification, because everything is validated over here. All right. A crypto coin usually serves the function of being the native coin of a blockchain, which is used to trade currency, store value the usual. A token is pretty similar, or at least similar functions, but it tends to use another coin's blockchain. Look at Ethereum as an example. It's a blockchain. The coin is Ether. Most tokens at the moment are made on the Ethereum's blockchain, though other blockchains such as Solana's are catching up. Ethereum uses Ether as a native currency, but tokens such as Basic Attention Token, a BAT, and Loopering exist on Ethereum's blockchain. They do this because the team of developers, usually smaller in number, can allow Ethereum to provide all the safety and security, while the team behind the token just focuses on making a token that has good features. Ethereum's blockchain calls its tokens ERC20 tokens. So, to break that down, coins have a whole infrastructure behind them. So, they are the network that piggybacks to move tokens. And tokens are
stores of value, but they're built on another system's blockchain. So the token might not have its own blockchain. Yeah, they go on to say here too, like, how do they store value, tokens, that is, if they're not coins? And they say USDT is the most popular token at the moment. For example, that's a stable coin. So it tries to match the value of a fiat coin, which is a more traditional like asset, like dollar. So for example, the US dollar, Canadian dollar, euros. So the USDT is US dollar tethered. It's tethered to the value of US dollar, and it's a token. So there's purposes such as storage or risk avoidance when you store your profits, per se, from a crypto trade into your US dollar tether, and you know it's going to retain certain value until you either make another trade with that amount of value, or you withdraw it and take the profits.
And fiat.
Yeah, exactly. Or anything else you might transfer it to, because, I mean, if you can go crypto to spend it off a crypto Visa, you know what I mean? So maybe you're going to
straight transaction.
Buy gold or something else. Maybe you have enough to get a house.
Now that we understand what a coin versus token is, to a better degree, how about we hop into our newly coined segment?
Coin segment. I mean, we kind of been touching on specific coins each episode. Maybe one coin in particular a bit too much.
So we're going to shift gears
once again and hop into a new coin segment. So for this episode, we're going to touch on Hedera Hashgraph. I feel like it's a big step. It's a big step for the listeners because it's not a traditional blockchain, right? So they're using a hash graph technology that they've created to reach a consensus between all the validators, and they're getting to their blocks, I guess, together through a gossip technology. So, I mean, pertaining to the specifics of that, it can get pretty complicated. I do know some major key factors are the transactions per second are extremely higher in this. They seem to be trying to work with industries, like with corporations, rather than, maybe retailers. They might be getting their value from that type of approach because they're able to scale so much.
And from my understanding, their security profile is actually pretty high.
The highest. ABFT, asynchronous Byzantine fault tolerant.
See?
ABFT. So the hash graph algorithm is asynchronous ABFT. This is a term meaning that no single node or no group of nodes can prevent the network from reaching consensus, nor can they change the consensus once it has been reached. Each Hedera network node will eventually reach a point where it knows for sure that the network has reached a consensus. So they're all validating together. This is from Hedera.com. They go on to say blockchain platforms do not have a guarantee of Byzantine agreement because a node never reaches certainty that agreement has been achieved. Rather, there's just a probability that increases over time. So they say blockchain is also non-Byzantine because it does not automatically deal with network partitions. So that's the whole idea. How they're saying the blockchain builds gradually like a tree,
Yeah.
but it branches off, and then they prune that, they clip it so it doesn't keep branching off too far, keeps making the single line of blocks. But then this one is kind of doing them all at the same time, constantly, which is kind of crazy.
That's actually crazy if they figured that out. But now,
And this is not financial advice, by the way. We are not financial advisors. Just relaying some information. I mean, if there's a new technology, is it like blockchain 2.0, like so quickly? They're saying it's the third generation.
At this point, we should be on 3.0.
I mean, they're on Web 3.0.
Don't sleep.
So the comparisons are transactions per second. Right? I was talking about that earlier. So with Bitcoin, they average 3 transactions per second, right? Gas fees are really high as well because of that. So a lot of people are fighting for the transaction to get through, and it's not in a timely manner. If you have Bitcoin, you know that. Ethereum, the next most popular, largest market cap cryptocurrency, Ethereum. They got 12 to 15 transactions per second.
And you know what makes it worse with Ethereum when it comes to gas fees? Like, there's times where, see, even right there, you see that little arrow? There's a reason for that. Don't sleep. Because their gas fees based on, like, time of day and how much traffic. If there's a lot of people trading Ethereum in that current space of time, like trading on the Ethereum network, then your gas fees fly up. I'm talking some unnecessary prices.
That's no good, bro.
Just based on how many people on the network at one time. So if there's something that's offering better than that.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of alternatives, right? Because there's Polkadot or other platforms that people use for speed and efficiency and gas fee, cost efficiency, right? What the comparison here is at 312 transactions per second, and they're saying Hedera can go up to 10,000 transactions per second, and in the future it can grow. I think that's crazy. That's crazy. That's something.
That's a game changer.
That's very interesting. And then average fee is like, okay, so it's $0.0001 US dollar.
Damn.
And it's finalized in 3 to 5 seconds compared to a minute blockchain.
So from what
half a minute Ethereum.
So from what I'm understanding how the hexagraph works. So in the blockchain, as you said, it builds. And as it's building, it's verifying. This one, so do they just have all of their miners on one time? Like essentially, like everyone verifying, like, all right, something came in. Everyone start verifying one time.
Yeah, because they said they'll be able to know when a block is valid, essentially, validated. And thus, apparently it uses far less energy per transaction. So that's why I like it. I think for scaling purposes, like, if things are going to be built on this platform, it seems very energy efficient, because that's the next concern. Okay, we mine, we stake, we do all this on computers and phones. Mm-hmm. Something is being used, right? The energy is being consumed to unlock these crypto coins. So
this could solve that big carbon issue and might help scale that the carbon agenda for 2035.
This could change the world.
This could be a game changer.
Yeah, so definitely check out Hedera. Do your own research. Some would argue it doesn't have the best chart. But you gotta have patience in this game. So that being, I'm trying to get off the grid with my charts for real. That being said, we gave y'all a coin, a little breakdown, something for to pique your interest, for you to go check out. Let's hop into our weekly resource. You know, we covered a couple of things already. ForexFactory.com, ETF.com, some powerful resources that you can utilize to help get some information about companies or just the market in general. So the next one I have to toss over to my co-host for a breakdown. It is called TradingView, a very crucial tool.
This is hands down, other than a trading journal, one of the most used resources. This allows you to chart. What do I mean by charting? I mean looking at candlesticks, looking at line graphs on comparisons of different companies for stock purposes, or different currencies for forex purposes, or different cryptos for cryptocurrency purposes. Why this tool is very necessary, it's because, one, it's very user friendly. It's super portable because your charts follow you everywhere. If I chart on my laptop, it will translate to my cellular device. There's an app both on the Android and Apple market. So super portable. For those of you that trade out there, this is so you don't have to. The charts are clear and clean.
You got yours up right now, right?
Yes, I do. I always have mine up.
It's true, actually.
Don't sleep.
It's like a screensaver.
One of the most key things is, of course, because it's a charting application, you get access to all the necessary tools you'd need, whether that's drawing shapes, drawing lines, horizontal lines. It has built-in functions for generating Fibonacci, all types of retracement tools. Then on top of that, it has your plugin and indicator section for things like your RSI, relative strength index, other tools like that, or your moving averages.
Graph. It has the yeah.
Very important.
The moving averages.
Very important. So this is, I'd say, other than having a trading journal, the other thing that you should really tap into and get familiar with. It'll take your trading game to a whole new level. Or even if you just not really into trading yet and is looking for something to be able to follow along with different companies, or just see
following trends in general.
Yeah, and just getting familiar with it. I highly encourage you get familiar with it.
Tradingview.com, very powerful tool. So when you use this, you pretty much want to look at companies, assets every day, right? You can do anything from gold, crypto, fiat, finance, forex, right?
Yep.
You can look at the assets in relations to other assets and check the valuation on the stock, on the chart format, and you follow it that way. And there's lots of different ways you can set it up, again, on web, desktop, and mobile devices. So very powerful tool. Shout out TradingView.
They do have free accounts and they do have paid accounts. Their free accounts gives you access to basically all the necessary features you'd need. But if you want to get crazy and have like a lot of indicators and things like that, then you're going to need to get yourself a big boy paid account. Know what I'm saying?
That's a fact. Yeah, TradingView might look a little serious at first, but if you just zone in on exactly what you're trying to look at, it gets very powerful. That's for sure. Like, you can literally identify opportunities in terms of entry points for buying into an asset, a stock, a crypto, and you can just identify trends. You can see where it's heading, where it's been heading, see major resistance points that it's been touching before, and you can make your decisions based off that additional information when you combine it with everything else that you take into account.
One thing that I also like about it is the fact that I could take notes right on it. So if I'm following a trend and I want to keep tabs on like a long-term trend, long-term study, so I don't get lost in all of what's going on in between time, I could literally make like these speech bubbles and fill in information according to as I'm going. So it's like a journaling on the go. It's on my phone too. So I just screenshot half the time just to keep track and then add the screenshot to my journaling. Yeah, I be getting lazy with my journaling, y'all. But it's still technically journaling.
I mean, sometimes we're on the go, right? So we might not be able to finish all the thoughts we had, but we can. It's good to know that you can note down some along the way in TradingView. So shout out TradingView. That is our weekly resource. We give that to y'all for free.
Free gems.
Can move right into our question of the day. I got a question. I need some answers from you. Shout out Chris Brown. How do you maintain your holy Trinity? And it doesn't necessarily have to be in relation to finance. And this is not necessarily a religious question. But the point is, you want to have a clear head when you're investing and be doing it from a level-headed place of thinking. So I'm just wondering, like, what do you do personally, Mr. RawFix, to maintain your holy Trinity, i.e. mind, body, and spirit?
Well, for me personally, one, it's because I stick to certain I try to keep a routine. And by doing that, I stick to certain time frames where I'm about to trade. And right before, like maybe like 2 hours before a market would say open from when I'm supposed to be there, 2 hours before, I'd get up, say my mantras for the day, as in like stuff for empowering,
Okay.
The usual,
like some affirmations.
Some very powerful affirmations, with specifics, because I kind of like try to goal orient my affirmation just so I could stick to topic when it comes time for me to open up my trades.
Okay.
I try not to eat too heavy. So I kind of go in from the bed fasted point just so I don't have any other distractions other than the necessary need for water.
So you're saying you wake up in the morning, do your mantras, go straight to trading, no eating, no breakfast?
No breakfast.
Coffee?
Dependent on how I went to sleep the night prior, but I try not to drink caffeine because that sends me to the washroom very quickly.
Don't play yourself, ladies and gentlemen. But that being said, it's not really about like I'm wondering about your holy Trinity. How you're maintaining it right now, this period in life. Not so much a day-to-day routine. What are some key things that you do or need to maintain your mind, body, and spirit?
Well, I feel that I do. So one, I stick to my bad habits. That's a super necessary. Secondly, I have to hear music, like, but not like my playlists are very wild. Full disclosure. So like
pull up beside you playing anything. Literally anything.
Like I'll be listening to French trap. I'll be listening to like something in Africa, whether that's Congolese, Amapiano, at Niger, like anything.
Latin music.
Latin,
K-pop.
Yo, like I'm in a vibe, and like it's really dependent on how I got up that day. I just need to hear music. Like I literally can't survive.
So routines, goals, goal setting, music, and bad habits.
Yes.
What about?
But like these bad habits won't destroy my liver.
I understand. I understand. Um, that's good. Healthy livers, I'm pro that. But what about the spiritual part?
The spiritual, well, I always try to stay in tune with Ma'at beliefs. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you and tell you that I'm following full through on all my Ma'at laws.
The symbol of equality, right?
Yes.
And balance.
Balance. But I try to stay in comedic fashion.
I feel you.
I have conversations, open-ended conversations with the higher power above me, and I don't expect an answer right then and there, but I perceive it, and like in high fashion, he is answering me. Sometimes not in the form I'd like it, but and a lot of opportunity. But what I am thankful for is the fact that he makes me show improve. It's never a handout. It's always an opportunity.
We all have to do whatever fits for us in terms of our mind, body, and spirit, and the care of those things. For me, for the mind, I mean, we get on our Elevate. Shout out Elevate, one of the illest brain games out of there. Super full stop, but you know what I mean. It's kind of like Brain Age or something like that. Like it gives you tests every day. It has a workout built for you. A couple exercises, 3 to 5 exercises, depending on your plan. Definitely, we got the hookup.
It even has a study section.
Study your mistakes. Study some ways of thinking that it knows that you're not really applying.
Some new techniques for like either reading or speech or math.
Memorization.
It's crazy.
All of that. So that's what I'd like to get into. You got to read. I always try to be in some sort of course when I'm not fully doing immersed in something else full time. I try to be in some sort of course, maybe not school, but I try to do something. Definitely shout out this podcast because prepping and making sure that we have information in a presentable fashion. I mean, we're full of information. We all are as humans. It's a beautiful thing, but in a way that we can present it, and break it down. It's been sharpening my blade as well. Body, I started going for runs. I'm not saying it's a New Year's resolution or anything, but because the whole indoor basketball situation, I'm going for runs, and I finally got some new shoes for indoor, so I transferred my previous indoor shoes as my outdoor shoes.
They don't want us flexing in the gym right now.
I mean,
that's why they're telling us to cool down a little bit.
Beware of people that say they. You know what I mean? We don't want any mental constructs when we're trading. That goes back to our Holy Trinity as well. Whether you find it holy or not, what I'm referring to. But yeah, that's mind, body, and for the spiritual side, I believe in karma. Do right by others.
100%.
Do right by yourself. Try to withhold negativity. Or transmute it in a way like, artistically, so I don't have to hurt nobody.
100%.
And yeah, pray, yoga, whatever. Try to keep my spirit clean, stay on good vibes. Be careful with my spiritual diet as well. Can't just consume anything out here, right? So I'm very specific, like, my Instagram feed or anything like that. Like, it's very specific,
Have to be careful with certain vibrations,
Absolutely, because you ever find, like, sometimes I go in bed and I close my eyes and I'm seeing things that I did throughout the day, like, oftentimes. And
like a little playback.
Yeah, or like random images. You're trying to think about one thing, but you just get an image and you're like, man, I was spending too much time doing that day, like, so I definitely have to try to limit those ones if they're not positive. And that's what I try to do for me. And I would say as much as I tried, I definitely still need some work in terms of how I relate it to finance because I still have been able. I still manage somehow to make some trade decisions, not from the stablest of emotional places. You
Yeah,
know,
that's big.
uh, but I'm still young, so at least I'm trying. And they're not all like emotional. Like, most of them are stable. So I think my routine's working. I'm gonna try to keep tweaking it, and get the nuances a bit better. Like you said, have your routine, your goals, and make sure everything's in line with that. You really can't go wrong.
So you know what I recommend for you? Before you start trading, you need to come up with at least like you need to write down your rules. Write down rules to like one, how you're supposed to enter based off what, how you're supposed to remember what you're risking when you approach, be cognizant of how much you're willing to spend, have an idea of where your targets are,
Mm-hmm.
and once you hit those goals, once you hit those targets, always be ready to get out.
Yeah, there's no loss in taking profit. Those are some gems right there. Appreciate Mr. RawFix for dropping those for sure.
Got you.
I mean,
and I
definitely there's a difference between trading and investing as well. But definitely you should always have your algorithms, your rules, your parameters that you play the game within. Otherwise, you're just gambling, right? You
Hell,
don't know.
turn it into a poster if you have to. Just have it.
Sticky note.
Yeah.
Whatever
You
gotta
know
do.
I got mine everywhere.
Got the rules on me for sure. Man, crypto's taking a hit right now.
Well, to be honest, it kind of had to happen. It's been like on this steady trot of climb
Yeah,
the whole past quarters.
yeah.
Quarters.
No, you're right. It's boomed absolutely. So maybe what do they call it? It's like a correction, like
Yeah, a little bit of straightening.
just coming back home.
So,
But if it's a powerful project, platform, or network, or all the above, it'll
should
keep
stabilize.
trending in the good way. And if not, you can maybe make a play towards the downside. Why not keep your options open? I was watching this options breakdown on YouTube. Oh my goodness, it was so powerful. Like options look pretty confusing if you just try to think about it by yourself or read it. But I was watching it visually, and they're giving examples throughout the way, and they're kind of walking you through like one you would make off a solid company, and I'm like, wow, this is it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. So shout out options. If you trade options, definitely get up with us.
Trust me, like a lot of word buzzes calling it the insurance of the financial world.
Yeah,
Reason being, or like the insurance on stocks,
right.
because you could own the stock and just as a safekeep, boom, you got that option safety net.
So for the people that might not understand, can you explain briefly what you mean by it's insurance and it's an option safety net?
So when you're putting in an options entry, essentially, you're getting interest back off of the range that you've set. So say for example, if I know a stock's price is going to climb to a certain point or crash to a certain point, I will either buy or sell my option in order to receive off of the interest.
And you're not getting the option, like you're getting the right, not the obligation to buy the asset for that value or sell it for that value.
Yes.
If it hits that, but you don't have to hold it until it gets there.
Yes.
You can let go
There's
along
an
the way.
expiration or to let go on the way.
Mm-hmm. So you have a lot of options with options, right? So if I know it's a good, reputable stock company asset, and let's say not even a crash or a boom, but it's been here before, we just had a little dip, and it's going to come right back, and I'm saying, yeah, You know what? I know it's gonna come back here. Might even go above that. I'm gonna purchase the option if it's available to purchase the asset at that price if it reaches that price, but not the obligation, right? So I can always sell that too once it gets there. It's pretty interesting. Yep. Did we miss anything?
No. It's basically money on both ways.
Potentially. I mean, trading has considerable risk.
That's why you always gotta do your research.
100% of the time. Yeah, I mean, could you imagine the volatility of cryptocurrency and options?
Is there a vehicle out there like that?
I mean, I think
Options on crypto?
that's what my bro's doing.
That's crazy.
He's doing options. I mean, on the low. But, but yeah, so that's what fam is doing over there. He's doing the options, and it's like leverage because you're getting the contracts. So it goes with you, like, times a certain percentage, but it goes against you as well.
It goes against you as well, but at the same time, well, that's the risk factor. But yo, you're right. The volatility on that would be crazy. That is
super crazy. And imagine you're trying to predict off so much less data.
Wow.
And people think stocks are crazy. They might think, oh, that's risky. At least you have data to look back on.
Yeah, you got ratios. You got that is wow.
But it's only as risky as you find it, right? If you really know how to break down those charts, you're comfortable with those assets, those companies, those directions that they're heading.
Sorry, I'm mind blown because, I'm just thinking of the fact that, we really live in a day and age where I could get on my phone and print money.
I mean, you can get it in many different ways. You can get it.
Wow. Just thinking of the level of volatility through the day because,
you can hop on a Bybit, for example.
Yeah.
It's an app, and you can get your options, trade some options on cryptocurrency.
This is why it's mind-blowing for me because, for example, the Forex market, it cuts off on the weekends. So, by Friday, the market is closed. And it opens back again for us, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Okay.
But crypto don't stop.
And that's where I feel like, I'm sorry to say this, I feel like there's a danger of addiction. Because there's a lot of gambling. The popularity of a Bet365, for example, DraftKings, all that. It's really high. Like, people do the local gambling through convenience stores and stuff on sports, like betting. There's so much forms of, lottery, like all this gambling's happening. I feel like some people find crypto as their gamble, like their chance, and as much opportunity and volatility there is in the market, why not do it from a research standpoint so you actually have a technical basis behind
100%
you jumping into that position. But yeah, I feel like there's a risk because it never closes. Okay, let's say I'm trading crypto options. I go up. Nice, I'm winning. Oh, shoot, because of the leverage, I just lost everything I gained so quickly. Now, I'm going to load up because I want to keep doing it, and it's not closed. There's still a chance. The chart's still moving right now.
I hear that, but I'm also looking at the fact that
point.
I'm looking for more of an experience, someone more experienced in the game would maybe sit there and say to themselves, okay, I could change up my trading schedule. I could, because Saturday's volatile in this part of the world, I could do Saturday, Thursday, Tuesday. Tuesday, reason being, after market corrections on Monday happen, all right, Tuesday might be the actual swing, so boom, I'm going to get in on that. That's going to be a big market day. Mm-hmm. Thursday, because market's going to close and correct. Everyone's trying to get out their position on Friday. Then Saturday, because Saturdays are booming.
Yeah.
I could change, So
you're saying you can maybe trade your crypto against the times where you're taking to research your traditional assets. That's interesting. Weekdays, I'm doing Forex and stocks. Catch me on weekends doing crypto options.
Gang.
and taxes. You know, somebody got to do it.
Shout outs.
Yeah, it's about to be that time of the year.
Yo.
Yeah. So, you know, holidays came through, did what it did to the market. Had some ups and downs for sure, as it always will. It's just about where you are in relation to those and how well you study to position yourself. Speaking of studying, your boy been studying for a certain, course. I can't really say too much right now, but I want to put it on wax so that I hold myself accountable. Shout out the listeners.
Y'all got to document this journey with us.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. As we proceed to give you that hip-hop crypto feed, it's time to slide into our hip-hop segment. This is a story. Nah, for real. There's a lot of hip-hop news, trap news, whatever you call hip-hop now, pop music news going on out there. Nas dropped.
Yo. Okay, Nas is dropping and dropping. And then about to drop again just now. This Hit Boy Nas connection is beautiful.
It's a lot of horsepower.
Whew. Yo. Like, I'm still getting over Magic.
I mean,
they're already dropping a next project.
How could we be getting over it? Like, it just dropped. It just dropped. So Nas really tapped into the quantity aspect. He really has time. He's really been putting in some quality work and hours in the studio. Shout out Nas. Speaking of studios, shout out recording studios, because it took a lot of time and effort to get this place to sound like this. So you guys are definitely doing something special over there with Nas. Oh, man. But yeah, him and Hit Boy going crazy. Absolutely. Absolutely. I thought the album was magical. Honestly, I like how it's like he's getting comfortable.
Yeah, he's sitting into his demeanor.
His flows, his pockets, you know what I mean? I'm loving that. I think if he had another Lauryn Hill feature, I'd super love it. But that's just my bias, you know. What else are you liking out here?
Yo. Lately, been bumping some currency projects, especially I know he's heavy on your on your playlist and algorithms.
Currency is snapping. He's actually snapping.
This guy is dropping some big pieces of work, ladies and gentlemen.
Like, how do you drop 5 or 8 albums in a year, and then he still has more? Like, and they're about different things too. Like, you literally have to just take it in.
And like, they're all vibes. It's like the usual currency, but like different. It's the usual, but it's not.
Facts. Which one were you bumping though? Because for me, the Regatta, that was the one for 2021.
Yo, to be honest, I'm trying to remember which one. Regatta had that joint with
Styles.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Key West classic.
Bro, that was special.
I am currently laying a verse for currency. Yo, nah, honestly, it's like that classic collab that you need to hear.
You know why I love this? Currency's level of music is organic.
Oh, super! It's authentic.
Yeah,
like, he never switched it up. Like, he modifies the flow, but he never switched up. He's not changing because we're doing this now, or this is pop, this is charting now. Like, no, it still sounds like cool. Currency. He's still hitting you with the Jet Life ad libs. Of course, Kodak's killing it. Lil got it. Top Chef got it. Shout out my little sis. I didn't know she was bumping that. You know what I mean? She got a grown taste. But I mean, you know, they grow up fast.
Yo, I hear that. Yo, Drip or Drown 4 just came out today.
I'm not going to lie. I didn't even bump that yet. I got to go sit down and bump that.
Don't worry. Honestly, just sit back, relax.
Is it on par?
Um, I will say this. It made me sad that this is the last one.
Wait, he said it's the last one?
Yep. This is the finale.
Oh, it has to be hard then.
This is the finale.
Damn, the track list looks crazy.
It is redonkulous.
Now, Gunna's one of those ones where it's like nobody will complain if you just play that. It's played in the car, played in a get together.
Big facts. Like, even for the DJ sets, like, a lot of this music is playable. All my DJs know what I mean.
Yeah, it's at that right tempo. It got that bounce for sure. Yeah, I wonder what y'all are listening to. You can always put it in the comments. Let us know. Put us on some new waves, because sometimes you get in the box, you know, getting your own little routine, and the algorithms just want to show you what they think you want. Tired of these damn algorithms.
Yeah, I ain't gonna complain about my algorithm still, because
nah, I see what they doing over there at Tidal. I'm not gonna lie, this guy's
shout
algorithm.
Shout out to Hove. He figured me out.
It's pretty close. It's like the track it suggests next will be pretty on par. Like, you might pick it yourself. It's like, nice. No, I'm not gonna cap like my service. Like, you know, Spotify is not doing that. Like, it does that absolutely. But sometimes what I find is you'll get how'd you get from a reggae song to a dance song, and they have the nerve to call it a reggae playlist. Like, no,
yo,
it's
don't
my
even
Sabbath.
get
I
me
can't
started.
bump that genre right now. Yeah, I mean, I'm doing house chores. I just.
know, like I'm trying to skank through the kitchen, fam. Like.
Trust me, they don't know about. Yo, just call me, hit us up, let us know, you know, what you're listening to for the listeners, and in terms of the platforms, we can help you out in terms of your algorithm. Okay, find us at EverythingValidated on IG, TikTok, Twitter, Everything Valid. You know, little characters couldn't fit and whatnot. Got to be a bit more concise on Twitter.
They were not having it. We tried.
They're like, nah, everything verified.
Vera.
Facts. You ain't got room for that. Yeah, I mean, connect with us. I do want to say it might be an intro and an outro. There's a lot more in store from us in terms of breakdowns, but I would say Christmas, the New Year, and everything that entails, in addition to, unfortunately, this virus going on right now has us in a lockdown over here in the GTA area, Ontario, Canada. Again, in a lockdown. And it's odd because, I mean, I can't lie, I'm still in a little frenzy. I'm trying to buy some clothes still. I know it's not Christmas no more. My birthday passed, but I'm still shopping, right? And I'm in there like, it's open. Oh, they had to hire the security again. It must be costing somebody money. Hire security to count how many people coming in and coming out, but they're not really doing anything because you're coming in and coming out and no one's stopping you, and all they're doing is pointing. Did you do the screening already? Yes. Okay, come in.
No, you forgot. Yeah. Can you clean your hands?
They don't even enforce that. They hit you with any yeses to this checklist. And the checklist is like so huge, even old people can see it. And you're just like, nope. You just keep walking. Like, so anyway, that's costing somebody money. But the point is, I was shopping, and you can't even go to I didn't know. Like, I didn't feel like we were in lockdown again. Sorry, I don't watch news like that. Like, I watch, finance news. But
yeah, we be stumbling onto things.
Yeah, I'm in the mall, and I was like, oh, I can't even try this on. You know what I mean? People can't even try anything on. So it's like certain stores that breaking the rules a little bit, but it's like they're back to having barriers, no chairs, no gathering areas. Like, so hopefully there's good news in store about all this, and prayers to anybody that's going through something related to the virus. It's affecting us heavily. Maybe my story is a bit more
business,
micro, bit more surface level, but some people have some more serious relations to it, and it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. So hopefully we can get on with this and move forward.
Thank you for rocking with us, ladies and gentlemen. You are here listening to your new favorite podcast, the one that keeps you educated, elevated, happy, and head bopping.
Everything Validated Podcast, the EVP. Hashtag the EVP. Can't you tell I'm a marketing student? EVP. RSVP to the EVP. S'il vous plaît.
CC that EVP.
You dig? That was deep. That was deep. But yeah, we appreciate you for listening. Episode 4, Everything Validated Podcast. We out.
Peace.